Lightyear mission log, stardate 3901. After a full year of being marooned, our first hyperspeed test flight is a go.
Who are you talking to?
No one.
You were narrating again.
I was not. Just doing the mission log.
You do know no one ever listens to this.
I know that. Narrating helps me focus.
James, how are you doing today?
Oh, really good. Hi.
Hi, it's such a pleasure to talk to you today.
Thank you.
First of all, in the grand history of animated movies, and there have been many, do you have a particular favorite?
Of animated movies?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Ratatouille, without a doubt. This film I haven't seen yet, but tomorrow this could take first place, you know.
Oh, wow. What is it about Ratatouille that puts it up at the top?
I need to relook at that and see why. It just got me right in the wazir, and it's been memorable ever since. And I almost don't remember it as animated for some reason. To me, that's the key to a good animated film, is you're not sure whether there were people there or pencils.
So you're playing, I don't want to give anything away for anyone who hasn't seen the film yet, but you're playing, as we know it, Emperor Zurg.
Mm-hmm.
And over the course of the movie, there's some secrets are revealed about the character. We're shown some interesting hidden depths to the bad guy. And like all really good bad guys, they're more relatable when their thought process is clear. Like I totally understood why your character was doing what he was doing, if that makes sense.
Well, it's going to be finally clear to me after I see the polished film tomorrow. But as you may or may not have heard, I was taken into a recording studio not knowing who I was playing, having seen a few lines the night before, and then being led by Angus MacLean, our director, through Zoom. He was 400 miles away. I went into Pixar's big studio. It was empty. I was the only car in the car lot. A guy brought me in, one recordist on the other side of glass and the other. So, you know, COVID literally kept us in the dark about it. And then doubly, they wanted to keep me in the dark about who I was playing, you know, and why they chose me. I had never done voice on a feature before, but last year, Robert Downey Jr. said I was to narrate. He assigned it to me, Sweet Tooth, the series that was #1 in the world for Netflix for a month. And these guys heard that recorded voice and brought me in to do this, but they didn't tell me anything about it. So I literally was in the dark as I was directed through these lines, and through 5 separate recording sessions, I learned more and more about who Zurg was and what a con man he was. There's a very likable side of him, and then there's obviously a very dark side, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. So did you get to speak to Chris Evans at all about the roles that you're both playing in this? Have you spoken to him at all about this project?
I hadn't met anybody except at the premiere, and you know, it was so crowded. All we could do is say nice to meet you and shake hands. And we've all been in separate rooms for promotion. I mean, I'm in an empty room with you and a camera here, and we still haven't mixed it all. I'm going to New York on Sunday to I don't know who I'll be meeting there, but to do you know, the normal New York talk show junket, and by then I will, of course, seen the movie and know a little bit more about who I played, which is pretty odd for me because I was the least likely to become an actor, so I went to school so heavily trying to get rid of the collywobbles. And many years later, to not have had time for preparation before I walked into a job is like unheard of, but fun because it was okay with them, you know?
Yeah. Like it's it's interesting because I almost don't want to spoil anything for you if you haven't seen the full course of the character arc for you, but
Mm.
not that you need the advice at all, but Josh has played one of Disney's biggest villains of all time with Thanos in
Yeah.
the Marvel movies. Did you and he speak at all about like how to deliver particular villainy lines while still, you know, wanting to be charming and not necessarily completely lose the audience?
Josh is pretty remote with his dad about his career. I've given him some advice, and you know, he many years always worked, but it wasn't until he was about 35 that something really clicked, and the guy became not only a terrific actor, but you know, I guess in a sense, a movie star. And he keeps all his work pretty much to himself. And I don't think with any job I ever had that I came home when he was growing up and sat my son down and told him about what I did and how I did it, because I wasn't sure anyway. You know, being an actor is a crapshoot. And
Yeah.
sometimes you have a failure you wish you hadn't taken, and then other times it's a surprise. It's a smash hit. You never thought it would be, you know. But I gotta say that every day of work has been the best day of my life in this business. And I don't know if all actors feel that way, but I've really appreciated everybody, even the cuckoos. And there is a cuckoo actor now and then, but most everybody is appreciative. There's a shyness to them. The crews are absolutely hired because you pay them 100% and they give you 140%. They say, I thought you might need this, you know. They don't go home early. It's an amazing business.
Well, you mentioned there some projects that you're never quite sure how they're going to pan out. And well, I remember growing up, and it came out before I was born, but I watched a lot when I was younger, was Westworld. Because I
Yeah,
was a huge Michael Crichton fan growing up. Obviously, everything he's done.
and me too. I'm sorry that he decided not to direct anymore after a couple of pictures. After the Great Train Robbery, he
Yeah.
decided not to direct anymore, and that's really a shame because he had a lot to say, that guy. And any of his books today are fabulous, you know.
Oh, they're incredible. But I'm wondering, have you gotten to see any of the latest kind of iteration of Westworld? Have you seen the HBO remake of that movie?
I don't get it. It's not the old Westworld, you know. If I were to set it up, I would probably do it differently, but it does have its following because people, you know, like Josh's series, Out of Range. I don't know if you're getting that yet,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's quite ethereal. It's quite sci-fi unexplainable. And I think part of the excuse in a project like that is the characters have no idea what's going on either, so you don't have to, you know. But they're going on another year and going to supposedly explain to us a little bit, help us make more sense of it, you know. But
Yeah.
as far as asking him, I didn't know, you know, what he was doing in that film until I sat in a theater and saw it. He has no, and I haven't seen this one yet, so he has no idea what I'm doing. What I'm hearing from fans and interviewers is everybody seems to be drawing a parallel, you know. All I can say is in a bar fight, I wouldn't have a chance.
And one final question, if that's okay.
Sure.
Have you and Barbara and Josh, have you ever made it over to Ireland?
To Ireland. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I for Roger Corman, I directed my first movie, My Brother's War in Ireland in around 98, and just absolutely loved it and have longed for it ever since. And we were in Galway and the Connemara coastline there. I lived there for 3 months and just had the best time. And the film turned out, the film won Best Film at the Hollywood Film Festival. It ain't that good, but it did win. And since then, I've directed a couple of films for Hallmark, and now I have developed 4 other films which are up for financing right now. well, only one that I would be and the other would be as a director. So we'll see. Financing, sometimes you wait 20 years and then somebody says, God, never read anything so great. Here's the money, Crapshoot.
Crapshoot. Fantastic. James, thank you so much for your time today.
All right. Great seeing you.
Mission failure imminent. In 3.
Grandma always said she believed in you.
2. 1.
There was a big swirly too. Oh, I think I need a bag.
No. Please record your last words.
Do not vomit inside the vehicle. Do not vomit inside the vehicle.
If you are satisfied with this recording, speak or select 1.